setting issue, right?
Something. No idea.
We can always use Zoom. I have no problem. But when it's very confidential discussions, I prefer Microsoft Teams because Zoom is, has affiliation with China. So I try to avoid confidential discussions on Zoom, but that's okay. Let's go ahead. So meet everyone. Anirban, you already met Shiva, and here we have Amit behind Awake. So let's go ahead and start our discussion.
Nice to meet you, Anirban. Pleasure.
Yeah. So I think Shiva will join soon.
Oh, he's here. Shiva is here. Shiva is joined. Yes, we all are here.
Shiva is also here?
Yes, Shiva is here.
Okay.
Professor there. Yeah.
We are all here. Okay. So, so Amit, where are you located?
I'm in Bay Area, in near San Francisco, in San Mateo.
Okay. And I just talked to Shiva, and then I was trying to understand what he has been doing, and just to brief what you have been doing, and actually in real terms. So you have opened up a company. I went to your websites, but it's written in very philosophical term. But I just wanted to understand in real terms what you make, what the product you make, and then what product you want to sell in the market. So basically, a simple thing.
Yes, Amit. So I think you should take a lead and explain what your vision is and where we want to go. I just came to know Amit, Anirban, if I am to share our background, and then we started talking, and he shared with me what he's planning to do, and then immediately I said, oh, then Anirban's work fits perfectly into what you want to achieve. So Amit, why don't you go ahead and take it from here?
Sure. Yeah. See, my background's been in e-commerce and AI and fintech applied. Just driving sales and driving online engagement and all the stuff that big tech does. But I did it for e-commerce guys. So all the stuff that you can imagine regarding personalization, upselling, cross-selling, yield optimization, things like that over the years. So the first major company I built and sold was Runa, which was powering, by the time we exited, it was powering eBay, Groupon, Staples, those types of folks. And we sold it to Staples. And, the goal was to build a very large scale platform that connects, all the buyers and sellers and, expand on what they had already started with their second party marketplace. And again, they were not able to execute, with any sort of coherent strategy. So I left within a year to build something that would bring me, call it 1 billion shoppers, because that's really what's needed to drive cash flows in a sustainable manner on the internet in order to, let us say, create an alternative to, these guys, big tech, So I built a company in 2014 called Quintype, which is a Shopify for online media companies, news companies, magazines, that sort of thing. Big customers we have like Bloomberg, Fortune, and quite a number of large national newspapers around the world or magazines, like I said. And last year we crossed about 500 million, shoppers across the internet, across our customers' networks. So those are shoppers because everyone online is a shopper. And the model of advertisement is because that is true. Media drives commerce. So that was the goal there, to get access to all that first party data and also, those access to the shoppers. That was the last thing, company. Awake is a private equity style holding company and has invested and created multiple, incubated, I should say, a number of startups since 2 years ago. And they all fit together to essentially reconfigure in a way how the internet business can function. In the existing situation, the market networks operate, or the internet, which is the internetwork, does not operate like an internetwork. It operates like multiple networks Facebook's network, Google's network, everyone's network. So what we have built is effectively a virtual software layer that is a network of networks, right? It's an internetwork of networks that connects everything together. Okay, so we call this OpenTangle, and this is the foundation for our, internet business, which in our, thesis and the way we see the world, everything is the same thing, right? We're connected in terms of activity, and not knowing what that activity is, that's the data, right? You don't know what's going on. So we collect data across the network of networks through people, right? Which is the ultimate node of any network, or the ultimate leaf of any network, right? So this simple model is fundamentally recursive and creates a fractal-like universe of buyers and sellers and promoters and everyone in the middle, which is servicing each node, being a node itself and connecting to other nodes, right? And it knows itself by its own sovereign identity and maintains its own activities. And the observer, of course, is awake, right? Which is creating this new world of secure, interactive, operating system for everyone to be free on the internet. So I'll stop there. That's the brief fabric, and we've already deployed this. We're live in multiple countries, and I fully expect to be probably among the world's fastest growing cash flow companies in the world in the coming years.
So basically, your product is a layer of softwares which acquires the internet data from, but you have not built your hardware or your own databases or anything. You basically use the database created by others, and you harvest them, and you want to provide a better integrated platform to serve internet. Is that, have I understood?
See, the internet is simply the invisible hand which connects everything, right? So internet doesn't mean anything. It's like spirit and matter. We only deal with matter, right? But the spirit connects it all. So we only deal with human beings, and we only deal with economics, and we deal with countries, and we deal with actual, society and humanity, while dealing with the invisible infrastructure that connects everything in real time and makes this value co-creation possible.
I just wanted to understand that the product that you have is...
Why don't I do a demo? Would you like to see a demo?
Yeah.
Let's start with a demo. So I'll just, the basic principle of what is an internet. We start with a few use cases, of this technology. I'll go to OpenTangle one more time, just really quickly. And if you look at our commercialization, I will start with the first example I will show you now is the ShopType, this engine, which is powering online direct-to-consumer retail, because we are able to drive revenues for anyone that connects to our network. And I'll show you how that happens. Okay. And again, that's the first application. The second application that you can see here is, actually the first application is AwakeMe, which is a sovereign identity. You're able to log into the internet in a secure manner that allows you now to capture the value that you co-create with any other network, right? Because we are now the control mechanism for the internet.
So basically, other network means, say I follow Google. I follow
any HTTP network, any internet network, any HTTP network.
So basically, to your question, Anirban, I think the existing networks are all taken into the usage here. We are Amit is not building another network for everyone to use. He's using all the networks that are already established, and he's providing that integration platform. Is that
see, the internet is a super highway, but there is no interchange for these highways. Now we have created one single interchange for all superhighways that any other person creates on the internet. Because in order to know what is real, one has to have a basis, you know. The basis itself is not there otherwise. Otherwise, when you say something is wrong, based on what? Compared to what?
Yeah. Is it fully about, because I'm just trying to understand, because my knowledge is limited in this.
Of course.
But I'm an user. But I just wanted to understand. Then maybe my questions are very stupid to you, but
not at all. Please, sir, come on. I mean, you're a genius. Better not to go there.
Bear with me. So what you are trying to say is that, for an example, Google, I do search. So is it in Awake.me? Are you building a search engine where you provide?
No, let me show you now an actual demo. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the theory, right? So an example
Yeah.
of a company that can use us is an example. Okay. So this is a very famous company called Goop. It's about a lifestyle company. You know, this is just an example I'm taking because this company has taken us about, not us, but whoever built it, has taken about 10, 12 years to build this $3 to $4 billion company, which is an online brand. Okay, they sell beauty products, home, food, whatever, travel, style, whatever, all these things, you know. And they do this through content, you know, as you can see, read more, right? They read and they talk about people and this and that. And you see how there's products everywhere? Wherever you look, there's products, you know. So it's like a magazine, a digital magazine of sorts that uses commerce to drive content to drive commerce, and creates a community around some of these things, you know, like these Erica and Ask Jean and whatever else, you know. So this is an example of a typical business that uses the internet as a media layer to connect their supply chain behind it, and then use curation and editorial to drive their business. Okay. Now I will show you what we are able to do, because just to repeat, another way of looking at what Awake does is it implements the decentralized economy without crypto or blockchain on top of HTTP, right? So let me show you an example of one of our networks, Awake Network, which is in the cannabis industry. Okay, so this is a global B2B2C market network, or a market mesh, basically, that connects all the participants, whether you're a consumer or you're a grower, a brand, a distributor, a retailer, a delivery service, a bank, a payment gateway, a reviewer, you know, anybody that's in the chain of this industry, events people, you know, restaurants, cafes, online stores, offline stores, right? Spas, everything. Everything is connected here in a decentralized network. This looks and feels like a media company, and it is a media company because everything on the internet is media only, digital media, HTTP media. So every company is a media company. And when I say media, I just mean HTTP media, you know. They're just using bits and bytes to connect with the individuals. And what we do is we track the cash flows that happen underneath all this, okay? So to give you an example, so here's an example, right? Normal stuff, right? This is all normal, but we add a co-sell button to the internet, right? This is proprietary, and what we do is like a Facebook like button, Pinterest button. The co-sell button makes it possible for anybody to promote and buy, you know, and sell and promote and make money on any other product on our network of networks, which is free to join, and anyone can connect and put their products on there. So here the vendor is saying, you know, buy this retail for $130, and based on my wholesale and all the other things, $46 I'm willing to give you to sell the product. And anyone can earn it on the internet, right? And how does that earning happen? You just click it and you share it on social media, right? Any other network, Google, Facebook, this, that, whatever, it doesn't matter to us, because as long as, you know, the people come through and click it, like in what's happening nowadays with people discovering through social. Google is only one part. When Google, you search, it sends you to YouTube, or it sends you to other places where experts are doing the work, but they are not getting paid. You see, so now all that money can now directly go to those people. But again, the point is, on the internet today, there's only 1% on average conversion rate, which means that in most cases, 99% of the people who come to any website or whatever don't buy. So when I click this button, 99% of people will not buy it. Okay, so that means out of that 100 people that click it, only one person gets paid in today's world, because there is no way to track who are the other people in the chain, right? So nobody wants to share this data because that's how they make money. Now with us,
that's how Google also do it. Because if I type in Google will tell me that your advertisement went to 13 people, 12 people clicked, 1 people purchased, or something like that. But
that's
Google
right.
never how many people and where from they came, and
That's
then
right.
so basically, if I to understand that Google, Facebook, and all these companies, they have a sub company which actually markets many different kind of products, and then they market it. They market it general. For an example, I can go to Google or I can go to Facebook and campaign for a computer that I'm building, and then
Right.
I can pay this much money per week or this much money per year, and they will tell me how many people are coming to my website, and then how many people are clicking it, how many people are buying it. But most of these companies run a very fake business because they don't
That's
tell
right.
total information. They actually hide most of the information, and
That's right.
never get justified about the money that you are paying to this company. And there your company or idea comes in, where they say that, look, they don't give you the total information. I give you all the information if you pay me money and market it with ourselves. Is that right?
Right. Let me complete this chain now. So on the back end, okay, how this is done is, so first of all, right here, before I go there, so let me log out here. So that was, I was logged in, so all the links are personal to me. But when somebody new comes in, right, the first time, and they want to make money, there is a single click happen. We sit on top of all the other identity providers, Facebook, Google. So it doesn't matter how you log in. Let's say you log in with Google, the normal Google login process happens, Facebook or any of it, right? Which is a single step, which makes you a member now of the Weed network, as well as the overall Awake network of networks. Okay. Now what happens? Let's go to the back end and see how the rules are set. Let me just. So when you first time you come in here, you will see that you can have 3 different ways of operating the system. The first is called a co-seller, which you saw. Anyone can become a co-seller. The whole world is going to be free to join. All of it is free, like Airbnb. They're all travelers. Some people are hosts, they sell things, whether it's a online class or it's a physical store with a restaurant or it's anything at all, they have to sell it and provide the service. And of course, there are networks like Weed and Goop and many, many others. So let's see what happens when you come in as a vendor, right? So right now you will have no product. So first you will go to product, add a product, right? And what we do is we connect to all the other e-commerce platforms. Okay, so Shopify, WooCommerce, blah, 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 right? So one click, we integrate. So then what happens is all your products are basically live synchronized, your inventory is live and all those things, and we keep it in sync. So then we're able to allow them to say how much they want to offer the internet to make sales happen. So Facebook, Google, Apple are setting 30% take rates, and normally the Walmarts and Sephora's and all these other metros and these bigger companies also take 50, 60%, 70% is normal because they're wholesalers. They will take it at, somebody makes something for $5, they sell it off at $10 and it retails at $50 or $100, so there's change, the whole thing in the middle. So here they're defaulting at 30, but they're offering 40, 50, 20, they can decide this, not set by us. And they can also define how to split this, amount. No one else on the internet can split this because they don't know how the heck the actual attention is moving. They call it the attention economy, right? They don't know how to track it. But so what this is saying is, let me go from bottom to the top. This is saying that if you close the sale, like if I put a link on Facebook or anywhere, and if the sale happens, let us say within 2 hours, you will get paid 40% of the available commission on that order, whichever order it is, whatever sale happens. And if you want to earn more, you can do it. You can actually earn more by maybe you can do more. You can engage the user and all that. And within, let us say, 2 days, you can make another 20% if you have closed the sale. And let us say within 1 day, you can earn also the 30%. 40% is when you're within 2 hours, right? And then 10% for this person who introduced the buyer. So let us say that Shiva introduced Jayashree, and Jayashree comes back every month and buys something for some long time, like maybe 5 years. We will pay Shiva, it's basically 30% of 10%, 3% of everything that Jayashree spends. Okay. So this is a global universal market network, and I'll show you an order coming through now. So an order comes through, $100, $70 goes to the vendor. And now let me zoom in. You see, random people on the internet, Lewis, these people, Gloria, etc., they're getting paid real dollars because weeks and months ago they did something on the internet, different platforms like Facebook, Twitter, etc., and they're getting paid real dollars in real time, right? And we also move the money on our network, right? So all the currencies, the banking, everything happens on our rails. So we are able to essentially create this new virtual economy that connects. This is US dollars, so you will connect Stripe or whatever. You'll see all your account transactions wherever it is in the world, and you'll be able to withdraw it, right? You can sit in India and earn dollars. For example, let me switch out. Now, this is not a vendor. I'm logging in as a co-seller. Somebody in India comes in, let us say I'm right now set to US, but let's say I can always change that, right? And I will say, I can find Indian products too, right? So like I said, we're live in multiple countries right now. This is just a test account. But basically, you'll be able to search and find whatever you want, all the products you can search for, right, et cetera, et cetera. This is a real. Let me leave it at USD. But yeah, let me just pause there. That's an example, one example of what is possible when you are able to understand what is happening on the network of networks, which is the internet. It doesn't mean anything. It's just deployed on HTTP right now, but the basic principles apply to any network.
I have understood. So basically, you have taken the Google or Facebook marketing the way they do it. They help people to do marketing and selling product and buying product to a new level. I see that it is much more generic, and you are giving them lots of information, which is. Can any person find how many people logged in and still didn't buy and something like that? No.
Everything is becoming a first-party universe. So what will happen is we have information on everything, right? Because we are basically asking you to log in, tell us everything that you're doing so that we can pay you for whatever you want to get paid on. It's that simple. So everyone is telling us all the things that they're doing, which is monetizable. We actually don't care what cat photos you have and all these things, We could decide to care, right? But we care for creating the single conscious or unconscious coordinated system of, independent agents. This is a universal system of independent agents that don't know about each other, but are yet able to, accomplish tasks that they are set.
Yeah, I can see that. I can really appreciate the meticulous nature of the platform. I see that a lot of thought has been gone into integrating many things. It's quite visible because if you log into similar kind of systems offered by other companies, you don't see this much detailed features. Okay, so I totally understand the background where you come from. So can we move on our discussion to furthering things?
Sure.
What we would like to do. So basically, my background is for the last 15 years, I have been working on developing a new kind of artificial intelligence. Initially, in the 4 or 5 years, I used to believe that quantum computing and then quantum-based nanotechnology-based systems will do. So first 5 years of my publications and work, if you see, I was strongly a believer of quantum computing and then quantum-based systems and room temperature quantum computing systems, cellular automation based. I created many of them. And very soon I understood by 2008, 2009, that all these are basically nonsense, because all these AI platforms and other things, they never try to look into the information in its real structure. It has already some preset of mindset that it will do this, it will do that, it will do that, and it will go on. So I started talking to people, and I started understanding. But very soon, by 2008, 2009, I realized by talking to the great minds of the world that everybody knows in their heart that the whole system is running on a falsehood. You consider bits as your information. You run algorithms, which are your instruction, your imagination about the system, but how the system, a human mind, naturally integrates. For an example, marketing, neuromarketing, and then all these kind of things which went on. This kind of fields, why did they flourish in 2008, 2009, 2010? Because people understood that the way human mind works and controls the market and then other kind of systems is very different from actual the algorithm based statistical analysis of data and all these things. It's a huge industry, as you know very well. But whole thing works on very superficial ideas. So I understood that if I want to do really something novel, then I have to get back to lab and do some basic works, how human mind thinks. So that is the reason I was a hardcore physicist and hardcore believer of quantum technology, quantum computing, and then nanotechnology will solve everything, and then all these things, because it's NIMS. And one thing, great thing about Japan, perhaps you know or you don't know, that is Japan has a very different kind of research model. That is, the first thing, they are not creative, or they are not very intuitive, or they are not very big, intelligent, or very brilliant. But they have a system that if first thing comes up, first idea, novel idea comes up from India, the second, the best product will come up from Japan. If the first novel idea comes from United States or any European countries anywhere, the second thing will always come from Japan. Third best will come from Japan. Fourth best will come from Japan. How do they do it? They do it by creating a system where they replicate, once it is proven, they replicate it, and then they replicate it and make it better. So their entire emphasis is based on this particular idea. So we had the infrastructure that, even though I'm a hardcore physicist, one of the best facilities in the world, much better than MIT, is here. Because I was in MIT for 1 year and I was surprised and shocked. I visited lab after lab, MIT Media Lab, that is very famous for 5th generation robots, that has only this 5 feet by 5 feet big table, nothing else. There, there is a fish tank, and then the robot moves, and then a small computer, and then Arduino chip and something like that. You never see that. If you come here, you will be shocked and surprised. One of the best models of all the best machines of the world comes here. Every year reviewed. So basically I moved directly from physics to biology, took out the materials from the brain and started measuring by myself. And the idea of philosophy that you have here, we have it in every Indian's mind. We are born with that blood. So what you have been doing internet.
So when you said that, what you just said, actually, let me just, one last thing I'll show you. I should have shown you this
please.
So I didn't write the paper because I don't have the time, But
no
basically,
need to, if you go to product.
Yeah. So if you just see what it is though, I just wrote this little bit, but what is OpenTangle, information and data, and what you said, the bias, you see, the intelligence is semantics. This is actually the problem. You've messed up your intelligence already, you see. So this is the situation that you're talking about. And this is the core of the system. The system is very simple. Only observation, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that, the problem is everybody understands it. The great minds, everybody understands it, but they will never accept it because the market is easy to go if you follow otherwise. If you follow my instruction, set of instructions. There was a 1979 paper by John Archibald Wheeler, who is my hero in the scientific domain. and he was actually the PhD supervisor of Richard Feynman. And 6 of his students got Nobel Prize. So Wheeler, many people don't know, but his 6 students, everybody knows. But he also got the Nobel Prize. His 6 students got the Nobel Prize, but his paper is called Eat from Bit. That's my best paper, and I always keep it, and I force everybody to read it. I will share that paper to you also.
Sure, I will definitely check it out.
I will just share it. Just look at this paper. They say the scientific theories, how they are born. Suppose I'm doing some experiment and you will be reproducing it. Why should you follow exactly the same instructions as I am observing nature? So what I'm doing is I'm using my political influence to find out friends who thinks that
Right.
the similar way observation should be made. So every single theory and every single experiment, every single perception that exists in the field of science and logical universe is a political campaign. It is written in, he wrote it, 1979. So he said, we are never studying nature. We are never studying what is happening actually out there. And this is the reason we never will be able to understand. That's why, inspired by that, these thoughts there. Many people, great minds believe. Roger Penrose, for an example, whom I am very, very close to, he always used to say that everything is nonsense. He has a book, the future of mathematics, because mathematics also drives me. We will come to that part of discussion in the later part of this, that how could our work assist you, and then we can work together, because I have already created it in my mind while you are giving the presentation. I will come to it, but I just wanted to briefly go through that in that book, what would be the future of mathematics. He said everything written in this book needs to be deleted. In the foreword he has written, needs to be deleted. So he is one of the finest mathematicians born in the last century, Roger Penrose. He has created 9 or 10 different research fields on which many people got Nobel Prize. Finally, he got it. But the point is that he wrote himself that all this mathematics has to go. Why? The mathematics has been created just to support the biased observation of certain individuals. And biased observation of certain individual is controlled by his emotion, his cultural background, his other things. For an example, you were born in a completely different time. I was born in a completely different time. We were in a completely different part of the world. We were built in a different thing. But one thing is common, all of us, is we are born in the land of one of the greatest civilizations of the world. And we all have the same blood flowing through our brain. When whole world was talking about bits, discrete pieces of information, we talked about integrated information in the year 2600 BC, when Sage Ganita in India, mathematics you called Ganit. You know why? Anybody knows why we call Ganit? You know, you used to say Ganit, no? Mathematics?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Ganit. Yeah, do you know why Ganit? Because it was Sage Ganita. Your name is Sage Ganita. So Ganita, just type in Google, you will see it in Wikipedia, you can read about him. So Ganita, what he did is he did a fantastic thing because, you know, all our work that you will see, I sent you a couple of videos, video of the brain clock architecture, integrated architecture system. To discover this, you know, I took the discrete pieces of resonance band, printed them, page, A4 page, page after page, like 100 meters, and I kept it in the NIMS in a row. Every day I used to go and look at it, and every people used to complain against me. Anirban, you are disturbing us, disturbing us. I'm not able to see the thing, because discrete pieces of information that is machine gives, I had to feel in my mind, how do I integrate it? It took 3 years for me, and I finally found this clock architecture. But after I found it in 2013, I went to MIT because they are the best labs were there at time, integrated information. And I found that they have absolutely no clue. Then I came to Calcutta, and then I went to one toll, Sanskrit toll. And I was talking to one person, and then he told me, Basudev, he is from, he's originally from Odisha, and then he was DRDO director and a very high profile background. He left, and then he was just like a sage. He became a sage. He used to live in a single room and then all these things. He brought me all the things that you are saying is already known for thousands of years.
That's right.
You are saying information is circular. I told information is circular. I know I will be killed for that. Whole book that you see, this NanoBrain book, it talks about information, events that are important in the universe is circular. It's a huge statement. You know, this was first proposed in Vedas. You know, from Vedas, many schools.
No, everything you said actually was that Vedanta is the end of the world. You discard all the words.
So the point is there are many schools of thought which challenged, but you go to Buddhism, you go to Jainism, or any religion anywhere that was born in India, particular 2 or 3 things they never reject. One is Rita. What is Rita? 390 times it is mentioned in Vedas. What is said? That every event wants to come back to the initial points. That is the fundamental property of the universe. But if you just take that one, you have to destroy the entire computer science, entire thing, all the way into Western civilization has been built, because it says logically circular thing is nonsense if it is coming back. It has to go and reach somewhere. But you see the difference. Now what happens? Now another thing is, then Maharishi Kapil comes. So 6 darshan we have in after Vedas, and Maharishi Kapil is many of his hymns actually part of Vedas. And then he comes and says, if you have a circle and if you have a pixel of that circle, those pixels are also circles, and it's a continuous journey. Adding, this is also fundamental that we observed in the vibration of proteins. But the point is, I never ever studied those kind of things before. But this person came to me completely different background. He used to build tanks and bombs for government of India. And then he left all those things and then started studying. And then he taught me that Chandogya Upanishad, and then so many Upanishads are there on rhythms and integrated architectures. You know why Sanskrit was invented? Sanskrit was invented because they said that the language by which you want to understand the nature should be such that every letter, every sound has a meaning that will be felt inside your brain. So 1400 years they were doing this research, and then they came up with it. And there is a history of that. So we invented a language. So what happens when Kapil says there will be clock inside a clock inside a clock inside a clock? So they wanted to make it understand to common people. They called it loka. So you take a circle, you take a thing, you go down, then it is Suksma Loka. And then if you take this circle as a pixel of a bigger circle, you call it Dev Loka. So 3 lokas you need to explain everything. But Ganit came and they said that these times are not discrete. They have a very definite scale from 10 to the power 22 years to 10 to the power minus 22 seconds, or they used to call it Truti. They had different units, but those times, milliseconds, are actually finite. Last year, I went to IIT Kharagpur and where Shiva passed out. So IIT Kharagpur and IIM Ranchi, they started a project, Spark it is called. It's a very prestigious project run by Government of India. So they give money to the foreign scientists to come to India and work with an ambitious project with the professors. So IIT Kharagpur runs it. So I went there and did experiment on human brains, on the management guys who are passed out from IITs and then joined management. You know, many of the students do management in IITs. So I took their brain studies and I found that there are actually discrete times when emotion actually occurs. It is not reported. They say that all minds, emotions are similar. No. So that can change the marketing strategy also, neuromarketing. So basically what I wanted to say is that this integrated time structures or clock architectures, it is fundamentally embedded to the universe, and it has different kind of prime rhythms. You see the background, the picture, this temple-like architecture, it is actually nothing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you do permutation combination as you did as a kid, and you find out how many ways you can rearrange. So how many symmetries could be there in the universe? And then when you calculate C2 symmetry is 50%. Your body you cut by half, 50%.
C3 symmetry, 33%, 100 by 3. So C5 symmetry, 20%. So if you keep on calculating and adding, you will find after 15 primes, you reach 99.9999, 86. So basically, in the internet, without going to anything, without looking into anything, anything happens in the universe with 15 different kind of symmetries I can explain. In physics, we read it 22 symmetries or this kind of symmetries. And this is how I rotated the all possibilities and I got this temple-like architecture. And you will find it in many, many temples in India, only country in the world. So when we were creating this Chura and then all these architectures, we knew the mathematics of orders. And that's why you know the classical music, Indian classical music, how many swaras? 23. You'll find 23, this guy came many times when they were composing the Vedas music or Vedic music. So basically what happened is 2013, I came to this world and then started reading it and continued my work also side by side. So the problem was then manifold because you know that you are from the existing science and nanotechnology. Everything happens sequentially. Our theories are built on that. Suppose some event happens here, I go inside and something, and then go inside and something. Can you take differentiation? No, you cannot take differentiation. Your equations don't work. Nothing happens. Then how do you do it? There is a mathematics called multinion. That inside one, how many products? A into B into C into D is equal to 1. So that was kind of there in 18th century. Some mathematicians did it and it was left out. I brought that mathematics back and I started going one inside another, inside another, inside another. In the brain, the video I sent to you, there are 12 layers. You'll see there are 12 layers. And then everywhere there are 12 layers. And then we created duodecanian algebra, the mathematics that you go inside and inside and inside and inside. In this book you will find. So that is the mathematics that we have found from the protein vibration. And then we built many different technologies, machines, then AI language we created. That if you see any event, complex events that is going on, for an example, you are looking into your market, you don't look at all the data. So we have built a computer. I will send that video. We have created organic jelly. So I have 4 laboratories running side by side. One is neuroscience laboratory, where we take out the material and try to check how the time crystal and all this geometric language is being processed. I have a physics laboratory where we do microwave and quantum optics laboratory, where we do quantum communication and all these kind of things, and cryptography and other kind of things we are trying to build. We have quantum laboratory. We have organic synthesis laboratory, where we are creating the organic jelly inspired by the brain structures. And then this jelly is actually read. What is the basic principle? You all know it. I don't have to tell you, because I don't have to tell any Indian. The things that you have written in your website and your materials in the Awake or everywhere, I have done the same thing. Only thing is that I used nanotechnology to build the device, nothing else. So what I do, big data you give me, I don't see anything. As Vedic monks said, look at the periodic loops which are closing, only observe them. So Maharshi Gautama in 600 or 800 BC, he prescribed, he said just opposite to what the world does today. He said, if you want to solve a problem, don't look at the facts, you look at the confusion. So which is you don't know. Inside that confusion, you find some more confusion. Inside those confusion, find more confusion and build the architecture of confusion. And you stop when you find facts. When you cannot go inside, you reach the fact. So this architecture of confusion is the solution of the problem. It's the
Yes.
When I read it in the text, all the descriptions, I will send it to you, or I will send a link of my blog where I wrote it. You just read the hymn and you read the translation. It is more scientific than any scientific statement made. How do you find a confusion? Step by step prescription is there, and everything is written. I will send you the link to this group, and then you will read it. So the whole approach to find a problem, solution of a problem, or to approach the big data or complex scenario, how can we go towards it? And I told just in our previous meeting that if you want to hide or encrypt information, you encrypt information in 12 dimensions in the dynamics, in the mathematics of 12 dimensions. So what happens? It is a self-operating loop. It's like a lifelike system that continuously changes. You have a key, you do it. Otherwise, the key continuously changes over time, following a very particular pattern of primes where nobody can explore or find it. Why? Because you need exactly the lifetime key that is there, and that is continuously increasing and increasing and increasing in a non-repeatable fashion. So non-repeatable fashion was there, R&D function, but it could be there. But what I wanted to say is that in this jail, we look at the periodic loops, we find out the 3D time crystal, we find the invariants, and then we understand what is going on in the whole scenario. So we have organic version, we have software version, and we have patented all these technologies. And then more and more patents are actually coming up. And we have licensed a couple of things. We have licensed, we are talking to Fujitsu company to, suppose you in a future, you go to a hospital and you will find that all your brain rhythms, brain body system rhythms, everything is in an integrated clock architecture, just like the video I sent to you. And then doctor finds which are the clocks missing. And then they find out, okay, this one is missing, this one is missing. Okay, this needs to be fixed. This needs to go up, this needs to go down, this needs to go up. They treat you accordingly in a collective medicine in a very personalized manner for you only. So now your heart patient, I go here, something happens to my heart. My postdoc here, Pathik Sahu, got a pain in the sciatica nerve. We went to many hospitals here. They couldn't fix it. The reason they were doing X-ray, MRI of that region only.
Yes.
He changed his food habit. He followed this unscientific Baba Ramdev style, this nonsense things. He cured himself. He's now walking. So the point is, the solution could be somewhere else. So the whole thing is absolutely integrated.
Right. 100%.
But integration, how do you do the integration is not a random thing. It should not come from the human mind or human bias. It should come from 4 different layers. So we say space, I am looking at you. You are sitting somewhere, space. You are moving with time. So there are 3 dimensions of time. Then there are 3 dimensions. So 1, 2, 3, first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, space. 4th, 5th, and 6th. These are time polycrystals that we have discussed in this book. And then 7, 8, 9 is the world line interactions between them. And 10, 11, 12, there are 3 dimensions we keep for the symmetries of primes. So everything when goes there, it's mathematical identity, then it is biasless. Because when you look at the primes, then it is not restricted to human mind or human bias. Everything else is, any physics theory, any mathematics theory, any biological observation is biased by human. I'm trying to see it in this way. And we call it, when I was doing my PhD, in Calcutta, my PhD supervisor always used to say that, whole science is all about pump probe. Actually, if you are a physicist, you know it. Shiva knows it. So what we do, we take a system, we hurt it with energy, or we boom, and then it shakes and screams and cries. And then we take that signal out and we say, if I hit it, then it does like this. Then why we are not able to human mind? Because I cannot throw you stone in many, many different ways and you scream, and those crying actually put into a model structure, and then I understand. So that's why all my technologies that we have built in Japan has one thing very, very different. It's very different from the Western machines. Many machines are there. Unfortunately, I'm in home right now because it's early morning. Otherwise, I could have gone to lab and I could have shown you my lab. All my machines are different. How do I do it? I never use pump probe, because Indians are the smartest people I have seen in the world. But the problem is, we have not been able to create big companies and control the market and money. And that's why our voice is not here. Because from the Indian professors, I always learned the truth. And when I came here, I talked to the big minds, and Roger Penrose. I'm telling you, Penrose got the Nobel Prize, he's legend. He's considered equal or more superior than Einstein, because he, from Big Bang to consciousness, from liquid crystal to there, everywhere it go. But I have seen many better professors, brilliant professors in India. One of the professors, my PhD professor, told me that pump and probe, this is screaming won't work. So what I do is, when I look at the protein, I give a very, very low information, very low thermal noise, say gigahertz frequency. So people look at it in gigahertz. So they pump gigahertz, look at gigahertz. I pump gigahertz, but I look at kilohertz, millihertz. 10,000 times smaller energy, how it is reacting, and spontaneous vibration, not mathematically related to that. So all my machines has this fundamental difference. So it is very much Hindu or Vedic compared to the Western way of looking into systems. So experimentally, I have changed. But when I write it in the papers and publish it, people don't see the difference. People think it is a normal kind of characterization observation, but observation has to be different. I should allow you to speak spontaneously in your own way, in your own word. Only then I can understand who you are.
So Anirban, I have one
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So you talked about the energy, right? So I was wondering, I mean, if we are to build a universal brain, then energy field is going to come into play. Energy flow is going to come into play, and the energy electromagnetic spectrum is going to come into play. Now, do we have you done any research on understanding what is that electromagnetic, spectrum, the wavelength, the hertz, frequency that is going to be essential for,
Yeah.
connecting, integrating.
I got your question. I got your question. Yeah. So let me tell this very straight now, very clear to all of you, that this question that you have asked is a question of Western mind.
Is it?
They always, yes, they always one particular magic frequency, and that would explain everything. They always try to find one mathematical equation that would explain everything, one particular thing that would be supreme. So that kind of supreme God, supreme rule, supreme frequency, all this kind of our Abrahamic, mindset philosophy, Sumerian philosophy. Actually, for us, it's a all the time domain. Imagine Ganita, 10 to the power 22 to 10 to the minus 22. Integrate all the time domain. And in the geometry of that time domain, how do you put those clocks? Suppose you have a triangle. You put one clock here, millisecond, one clock here, microsecond, one clock here, nanosecond, one clock here, and this up to years. One Brahma, you see that how did they say it? 10 to the power 22 years is one Brahma. And smallest time, smallest pixel or smallest is Brahman. So Brahman to Brahma is the smallest to the largest, have a very typical geometrical origin and then integration. And you want to build a universal computer to regulate the world, wipe out Microsoft, Google, and everything work together. Build a computer that goes from smallest time domain chain to the largest time domain chain at a time. It's not that. So that's what I worked. That's what I worked. If you want to find magical, you already have it, the Western world.
It's not about magical. I was reading the.
No. I have gone through this kind of literature and this kind of.
Listen, Anirban, there was an experiment that I, was reading about that where they, one human to another human, they were able to transmit the thoughts without any medium. So they were wondering what would be the frequency, because
there's no frequency. Let me explain one thing, right?
Okay.
There is no need to transmit 2 points. There are no 2 points. There is only 1 point.
Yes.
See, there is no point at all. There is no bindu, but there is nothing there. You see, that is the thing. It's a projection, So
the whole
thing is actually.
I loved it.
Right. How are some people?
See, first of all, the whole idea of multiplicity, it requires a unicity, First of all, it has to have a common. Your question is, what is that common thing which binds everything?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a frequency. It is something which binds not only frequency, it binds whatever exists.
It is a bio, is it biophoton? Because
No,
there are
no,
lot
no,
of-
no. You
Material.
don't understand one thing. You have to understand one very simple thing of 20th century. That is called quantum mechanics. Okay. So you are a space. I am a space. Amit is a space. Shiva is a space. Okay. 3D space structure there. As soon as you go to the time domain, as soon as you go to the time domain, fourth dimension, then with time we are moving, you are seeing it. Spatio-temporal. Go to the fifth dimension, go to the sixth dimension. Then you find time polycrystal and their symmetries. When symmetries govern, then time doesn't exist. There
So what
is
we're saying is
space,
that
and it's already
everything-
experimentally proved. It is
Right.
not. So before I come to my theories and hypotheses, already what is proved, you go there. It's already proved time, time, you can coexist at many different time domains. It's very well proved.
No, that part I know. I read about that.
Yeah, I know you know. That's why I'm going there first, that what you already know. You know that simultaneously you can coexist at all different places. Then what is the point with space?
So, this experiment that I read about, it really, aroused my curiosity. That, when you, some people, when you see them, they're depressed or sad, their electric, electric measurement, when they do, it's very low. When they, are very conscious people, they always find much higher,
Yeah, regarding that, I have to tell two things. The first is, still you are not able to get at the point that we are trying to make. First, try to understand when you go to space and you are confining yourself into the thought of space, electromagnetic flow here, here. For a moment, 4 persons, Amit, Jayashree, Shiva, Anirban, at 4 different places. Electromagnetic, different kind of fields are going on. But we are thinking together. Suppose, for an example, Amit and me and you and others, we all know that there is an integrated system, or whole thing are interconnected. You have to understand first that when you go to the higher dimension and look below, then you have to learn to forget the space. Very difficult, but you have to try to do it. That's why they say that when you go to quantum mechanics, people turn the book and throw it to the dustbin. If you don't throw it to the dustbin, you never understood quantum mechanics. It is said by the greatest minds. You have to forget forever that space at all exists. When you go to the symmetry, then even time don't exist. Only the symmetry is.
See, because what we're saying, Jayashree, is only perception exists. You see, how do you know that 2 people have communicated? This knowledge of something, where you say that there were 2 things and they did not know each other, and now they know something that was there, right? The knower of this is what? In the knower of time and the knower of space.
So I would like to extend Amit's statement a little bit to tell you, Jayashree, that another thing. In the first chapter of the book that I have written 2 humans communicating. But 2 humans are not communicating. This kind of temple-like architecture is there, the pattern of primes, prime-based, all possibilities and symmetries together. They are communicating.
So to be even more simpler and take an analogy, right? Let's say, Jayashree, if you have a dream, okay? And in the dream, 2 people are talking. And if you were asked the question, how are these 2 people talking? You can answer the question in many ways, phenomenally speaking. You will have Newtonian explanations and so on and so forth. And even quantum explanations. But the actual situation is, there are no 2 people talking. What appears to be multiplicity is in fact not even unicity, not even one, because what appeared disappeared. And only later did the information, is being analyzed.
So I always tell this analogy to make people understand this particular thing. So what I say is that we came here moments back. what sentence I'm going to tell next, I do not know even myself.
That's right.
Do you know any computer that can do this kind of conversation? Next sentence, what you are going to say, Jayashree, even you don't know. Then how could we communicate if we already don't know everything?
Sure.
You already know whatever I am going to say. That's why you can instantly analyze all these discrete sounds and then make out a perception.
And in fact, you can
analyze and respond immediately.
You can confirm this to be true. By the way, Anirban, on that note, you have to also accept that there is no reaction actually happening there. So even the reaction is only an appearance, right? So in other words, in a dream, you will see this to be true, that your reactions and everything was part of the dream. It's not that something happened and you reacted, right?
Sure.
The whole thing is you're part of the dream. So that reaction, that is an idea only, confusion. There is no action, no reaction, nothing. You understand? There is only cannot be expressed.
Yeah, but there is a way. I know it's difficult, Jayashree, but please understand that people have already gone, the existing science have already gone from leaving the space to the time, and then time also at the same time, two different places are doing the intelligent communication. There is no explanation to it. The reason is that there is a symmetry based match. So that is purely mathematical. It has no, it cannot be seen, it cannot be measured, it cannot be proved.
Yes.
That already exists.
So Anirban, let me ask you a question, right? Can we tap into the this exact mathematics of what is now in this perception or no?
I didn't get your question, so if you just elaborate a little bit so that I can understand.
Very simple, right? In sci-fi terms, can we predict the future?
Yeah, we can predict the future.
That's right. So that's all I'm asking. Yeah.
Using the mathematics. So basically, once we get with 86% accuracy with our mathematics that we have got, we can predict the future. So basically, you are doing it every moment. Right now, we four of us who are interacting, we are doing it, because otherwise, instantly you can't respond, because you are creating a concept which never existed. You are creating it every moment in your mind. And how am I able to understand that and respond it?
No, but I will tell you that on that part, it's not a philosophical difference.
No.
But it is a difference of experience, that there is that where you say, I do not know what I will say. The truth is, I do not know. And it's left there. There is nothing there. There is no reaction, action, any happening. That is an idea, you see, of perception only.
Yeah.
And always limited. There is never anything to perceive, is the truth.
I think Anirban, what events are going to happen in the future, it is already communicated, to us humans in certain ways, but not everybody is able to understand. Let me explain you why. Let me finish this. Because, in my life, I have personally, witnessed there are so many events that are, that will happen in the future. I will see today. And I will see it, and then I would wait for it, that when it's going to happen. Sometimes it happens in a month, sometimes in 6 months, sometimes in a year. So, but what created that information communication to come to me, months before, that is what I'm trying to understand, that what is it that is transmitting that information to me, and through which medium, because I don't understand that medium.
No. That's the symmetry. When you go to the space of symmetry, as I told you, mathematically, the book, if you say one single sentence, 86% accuracy, I can tell you what is going to happen to you. And then everybody. But remaining 14%.
Let me ask one question though. Because of what you're doing, are you actually predicting or actually manifesting the future? You're actually just picking the future, no?
Yeah. So basically what has happened in the past, in the real terms, let's forget about all those philosophies and all those all those terms. So basically what I'm seeing is you have a big data, randomly the systems are moving. I know that you cannot, mathematically, you cannot cross C2, C3, C5, C7, C11, C13, C17, C19, C23, C29, C31, C37, C41, C43, C47 symmetries. within this symmetries, your space-time system will change, and then all these things happen everywhere. But if you add the probabilities, it goes to 86%, but 14% unpredictability would be there, errors will be there. But what I'm saying is that you cannot make those events which will be 100% new. 86% of that will be repeated in somewhere it is written, or somewhere it has already happened, or some of its signatures are somewhere there. That's the reason when you talked about that universal computer, no one can make a universal computer that can predict all the future possibilities. For an example, I go to share market and I want to predict what is going to be the next value or something like that. If I look at all the past patterns, we cannot explain everything. The reason is that there could be media house, some
right, and
fake news, and that would go there. So basically, you need to integrate the media, entire media as one computer as part of the past data of that also. So now I am working with ISRO to predict the cloud. You know, many people die all over the world, and then ISRO is trying to build up a technology to predict that. So we are working with them, just like we are working with Fujitsu company to build a product that will predict your future diseases. So that are happening outside that database, that time crystal architecture needs to be fed in. That's why I am very supportive to your idea that a computer of the future that would really predict the future needs share market data with weather, with media, with genetic evolution, time crystal, polycrystal.
With everything, basically.
Everything. Only then you can see the map, because otherwise you don't see the map. But why I am saying that our technology is better is because we do not see the whole data, the big data.
I understand that. One thing I want to also explain,
the periodic loops, only loops, and then it's a 3D integrated architecture. So what happens is, since we do not look at the whole thing, for an example, I'm talking to you. You know how you are perceiving the information? You are not listening to my words. You are absolutely not listening to my words. Because if you listen to my words, then suppose you say, where are you going, Anirban? Nowhere. Nowhere? I can say nowhere in millions of ways, and every single thing will have a composite emotional response, and you will figure it out. So are you listening to my word? No. Why are you listening? You are listening to the topology of the frequencies, geometric architecture. That's how I try to convince people there is a language you never discovered. We discovered it. So that language we have to shift, and we need a new hardware for that.
Yes.
So for your terms, for an example, you want to create that's why we went for Brain Jelly, but now we have understood a little bit more. We can create a clock-based architecture-based hardware also, this new kind of computer, where you can hold these clock architectures. You have to hold it in real time, all these kind of clocks simultaneously, and then you have to look into this whole thing. So if we think of building something jointly, say Shiva, Amit, Anirban, and Jesse, suppose we are trying to build something new product, then we have to think in this line also, that we need first, we need, say, we have to set up a target of which product we want to build together if you want to work. And then once we set up the work accordingly, because suppose I build a particular language and then computer, then it has many different aspects, many different places we can apply it. But which product shall we build, and where should we work together? For an example, I told you with Fujitsu, we are trying to build this medical prediction system. Then the thought process for that is totally different. But again, this time polycrystal based architecture, symmetries, mathematical things, all those things will be implemented. We are with Valleys Corporation in the US, we are trying to build a futuristic chatbot where every single sentence it produces will be new. 86% of that will be new, and then 14% it will explore continuously and then build new. So it will never repeat. So imagine you are talking to a person and you cannot differentiate between the machine. So So the different companies, we are working on different thing, and the different entities also we are building on different things. So I think that to make this meeting successful, we should nurture some time about building a real product or something positive which can come to the market, and we can work together and take it forward. So Amit, what is your suggestion? Because it seems to me that from four of us, you are very close to the real product that goes to the market. What we could do, we should take a very simple and then smallest task, which is very easy to implement. Then we can build on that, because philosophically we see that we are very close to each other. We do not need to discuss to harmonize our thoughts. There is no need.
Right.
So since we don't need to do many brainstorming sessions to understand each other, because I think that we already understand each other, it's better to ponder over a product. So what things, Amit, comes to your mind first?
So one of the things
let's take it to the product. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So the reason I started this commercial aspect, is
Yeah.
that we need to have more money than anybody needs, because we need to not worry about money, all of us.
Yeah.
Whatever research we need, whatever billions of dollars we need, I should be able to make it for us and not bother about going around begging for people, right?
Yeah.
It should be a self-funded project.
Yes.
So that is the reason why I started ShopType, because ShopType is a universal cash flow machine. We're going to turn it on this year, and we'll have plenty of money in the next couple of years to never bother, bigger than Google, Apple, Amazon, etc., etc. There is no question about it. Once that is, not even once that is the reason why that has to be the core platform, commercialization, even though it's boring, Then the data that connects the 5 billion, 6 billion people, we have the opportunity to what is called as interhumans. How do we actually live as a network, not as a node? We are the whole network, not the node, right? So you are what is. How do we raise the level of awareness is really the goal that I personally have, right? And this network of billions of people interconnected through an AI to do that, to increase all aspects of well-being, and to really create super intelligence that is conversational, but is in that position of true commercial control in our society.
Okay, so I briefly understand that. What are you trying to say? So why not we try to build a AI product to understand the cash flow machine better? So basically, implement in a new language. You try to see the pattern and find out new patterns that is evolving in the market. Because for me, I am very less ambitious. I'm a person. I never wanted to be rich in my life. I'm from my childhood.
Forget about money.
I never wanted to get 100 out of 100 in mathematics. Honestly, believe I enjoy life. What I have in my hand, I do just that very well, and nothing else. So, for the self-awareness letter, first we try to build a product together that makes your dream come true. That 3 years later, we sit here, say today is 7th March 2021, 7th March 2024, and you become richer than.
That's not important, but the reason is
no.
There is a connection to
understand you. You understand me, and that's it.
I understand.
As I said, I don't.
For you, it's a challenge. For me, also, it is equally a challenge only. It is purely a mathematical explanation of abundance.
So
I want to show people it's not a concept. You know what I mean?
So So basically, what I would like to see, what my interest is I'm trying to look into, because they say that this is a universal truth, Vedic monks. I just would like to see that I have a pillow. If you see my bed here, it's I sleep in the bed, and it's not that in the floor. It's not that I cannot afford, but I do it. But I sleep in the lab. I work 17 to 18 hours, 19 hours a day. I try to understand the thing, and then I spent hours after hours. I ruined my, I didn't have a family. I didn't take care of parents. I didn't care of child or anything. Only thing was in my life was to understand how the universe works. And then after all this hard work, then I find that I am a piece of shit who did not understand it properly. For thousands of years, the knowledge was already existing and they were talking about it. People didn't understand their language. So when it spoke to me, I went on, I got more inspired and finally finalized the book and then compiled. And it is only fraction. There will be 10 more books coming, explaining every single critical concepts much more. And then we are at least 20 to 30 years ahead of this book. So this book is a very tiny part of the pits of the iceberg. So basically what my ambition is to go to every single field and try to see that can we really understand how people are thinking. So for an example, if you have a huge number of database of many people are buying and all these things, this data, if we can view it differently so that we can understand its intelligence. So say,
not only the data there, you know, so we have created one system. I'm plugging in Wall Street. The Main Street and Wall Street is the same system. All the money flows, forex exchange, all that stuff flows through one system.
yeah.
We are talking
So
about the source of truth.
Why not we start building up a say software platform to look at the whole integration in a new way. Imagine a future product. Okay, so a future product where you have integrated clock architecture, spheres, say hologram in your room. It's in the floor you have a small projector, holographic projector, and then top projector, and you have a big sphere. And then on those tiny spheres, you can touch, you can move them, and then you can see, okay, Wall Street market, these are the particular changes that are happening over there, these spheres. And then these spheres is actually getting influenced by those spheres. Whenever they blink, those green balls or clocks blink, even there is a ripple here, and then that is going there. So we find the invariant.
Yes, so of course, you know, we can integrate the economic security to national security to social security. We will be able to see the entire map, integrated map. What events are happening at which node and what is going to trigger, whether it's going to create the economic, you know, imbalances or whether it's going to create some security imbalances. Because it is
currently, Jayashree, what I think that the first product that would be simply improving the sale by taking a decision from that information structure. So Amit should be able to look at the new way of writing the information. And then from there, he should be able to figure out something which is not obvious by looking at the normal AI processed data. So what you will be able to find out, okay, if I make this subtle change, then there will be billions of cash flow like that. So that is what we need. We need a real application where real real thing you are able to implement it, and then you do it more and more. My interest, Amit's interest is say converting incredibly, say it's $1 billion trillion dollar market it becomes. My interest is from Amit's data, I will find out the invariant. So what is invariant? For an example, a child sees a cat only once and able to recognize every single cat, every single form throughout the life. Your best softwares cannot do. The best AI that exists into the deep learning with big supercomputer needs billions of cat images to learn, and then they detect 200 or 300 very similar cats. If it is a little different, they cannot. So it's called score. They never say it. So it is called single shot learning. In a single shot, forget about the cat. We are talking here, making conversation in a single shot. I'm not repeating the sentence. You are getting a completely new sentence and instantly you are able to respond. So that kind of futuristic technology doesn't exist in the market. If I say that we understand it, or this is the way system works, then Amit should be able to make a decision that this little changes, if you do, in a single shot learning, and then that will make it bring billions. Should be. So why not we try to do that simple thing, whatever he is doing, no change in that. No, I always,
Of course, right now
I
we are
mean, no security, nothing. Whatever existing
At
market
this-
sell,
yes,
existing that one,
I agree.
just look at the data in a different way.
Yes, at this point, we are going to focus wholeheartedly on what Amit wants to do. And then when we go at a future time in few years, when we have enough data, enough, interconnectedness, then we will use that data and information and intelligence to understand all these, bigger things. And then we
If
can
it
solve
works, perhaps you have no idea what you can do.
Yes, we will
Of
have
course.
You will not be going to the security market, dear Jayashree. You will be controlling the whole world. And nobody will understand even.
We will be protecting the future of humanity. When I say
No.
No? Oh my God.
You will
Okay,
be running the world.
Okay.
You have no idea. If it works even by 10%, 20%, you are going to control the whole world. How the economy, which country.
So,
economy,
I always keep, this in my hand, always in my, this thing. I got this in the Tiruvannamalai, where, so there is no world to control. There is, Jayashree, and to protect, and to, we are just here to explore and to learn.
Because if you become,
I don't mind controlling. Let me tell you.
No. It's not controlling. It's not controlling, Jayashree. If you start from anywhere, at any point, at any target, and you just understand that one very well, it becomes the universe. So after, don't have any target. So please try to understand, I'm talking in a higher dimension. So please don't get into the parameters and other things here and there. We do a very simple thing. His own market data, whatever he is doing, he will do the same thing, everything. Only thing is that he built a simple platform to see his thing in a 3D clock-like architecture. Following the...
I like it.
Just see that, and then he will be able to figure out something which nobody ever figured out, and he will implement it in his own way. He doesn't have to tell us. Only thing is that what I am interested in is, Amit, just to tell you that your target that you want to achieve will be achieved as soon as you look at the 3D architecture. But my target, or your final target, will be achieved how many higher layers of invariances we did. That's what I wanted to explain to you before we end this meeting, because I think that is the key thing. Because
so give me an example of an invariant that you're discussing.
So I will send you a video of invariance, but I will explain it here because what is invariant? That's why I started with the example of a cat. That nobody can do it. No supercomputer, no deep learning with a powerful supercomputer cannot detect even a single cat, and then a child does it naturally. How does it happen? So invariance is a particular feature in a dynamic system. Everything is a space-time dynamics like that we see.
I see what you're saying. So
there is something that does not vary, some feature that does not vary. So you need to go to higher dimension to find that one. And then you need to go to higher dimension. The ambition that you have, that the dream that you have, you want to achieve, we need to go 12 layers. So basically, my current technology is up to 6 layers. So 6 to 12, we have to make a jump step by step. I know how to do it, but the point is knowing how to do it and doing it is different. So what I want to achieve is fourth layer is time polycrystal. That's why I'm asking to you. And then when you will make a decision in your brain, what I am doing is I'm assisting your brain to see actually how the information is integrated in your brain outside in a hologram, so that you can.
So this is what is augmented intelligence, right? This is what is.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to be powerful, you want to go better, then you have to find out what is not visible in that information. For an example, you have a big data, market data in front, you don't see the reality Now I'm taking you one step ahead with the 3D clock architecture to see the reality that is integrated in all over that. But that is not the end. That is the first step. The second step is those clocks have a cluster, and those particular cluster. Can I share the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can share the screen. You'll have you set up, Amit, on multiple people?
Yeah, he can. I made him co-host.
Yeah, then you can share.
I'm running one particular program.
If I read this book that you sent, will I understand anything?
Yeah, very primitive way, the basics, very basics. Yeah. Most of the part that you will see in the book, actually what I have tried to do is to talk to the intellectuals to say where I copied which idea in the existing science to do it, only to prove that I am a good scholar. But
right.
useless to all the Indians, that because you know much more than this what is written in the book. This is only for the Western scholars to gain a credibility for me over 10 to 15 years. So this book, you keep it, you see that how the things flowed and came to my mind and how I integrated. But this is not going to add much knowledge to any Indians or who are aware of Hindu philosophy. So you already know much more than what has been there. I have done experiment and I have tried to show Western people, see, this is actually this is actually Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, let me run this. Why cannot I run? Okay, just a moment. I think I will be able to do it.
But what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to play this video. There is a video. This is a software actually where I'm running, and then I was not working on it for a long time. I was talking to you, so it got blocked, and then it has this tendency of getting blocked. Or I will play the video then. I'm blocked. I have.
I would like to create an entirely new universe.
Every moment is the universe is brand new.
Can you see my screen, the video being played, or I have to stop?
No, you can see the screen. You can play it.
You can play.
I think that stop share and I have to reshare. This is a problem with Zoom. Okay, can you see now with the video?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So, so when you look at I sent you video that cheetah is running.
Let me try to guess what you're about to say. Are you saying that you can find invariants in a lot of data streams, and then based on we will be able to see the same invariants in other places?
Yes. So basically, yeah, something like that.
This is a cheetah, is it?
Cheetah.
Yeah.
This is a
cheetah. The cheetah video that I sent to you, I will play right now. Cheetah video also. So cheetah video, when you see the time polycrystal, it looks very different. But inside that, there are some singularity points which actually survive on these planes, and they are completely new kind of information, new kind of clock architecture, new kind of thing is hidden there. And then I have to stop it. And you see the line, straight line passing through 3 planes.
Yeah.
That is another layer of invariant which we found in the cheetah. So that invariant, if you encode it in the system, we teach that organic gel with one shot, one cheetah. And the organic gel is able to identify every single 4-legged animal. So 4-legged animal, I did not encode it.
Really?
It is able to detect pig. It is able to detect all those kind of things. So that means the spinal cord and in the hand, those kind of invariants, which are higher order invariances inside the system, they actually regulating those are invisible there.
Do you
So
know
I
what
would-
the name of Awake VC was before I started Awake VC?
Yeah.
Higher order VC.
Yeah, higher order. So basically, the similar thing. So this is the 6D, and the planes that you are seeing is 5D. And then the videos that I sent to you, the time crystal like those spheres representing the cheetah, representing different events in nature, water falling, and then many.
So what are you taking in? A tuple set, is it? Representing the data? What is coming in? How do you take the?
Okay. So basically, I stop share and then let's move to conversation. So basically, in any data, I don't take the whole data. I look at, I convert it into image because data could be any type. For an example, you are doing the marketing, your product data are so different. Classification, classify those data in real time into normal would be very difficult. It is impossible.
Okay.
I mean, even YouTube cannot do it. You can go to YouTube Open Challenge website, and I sent you one video. There you see water is falling. So that classification YouTube cannot do. If you can do that, you will get $1 million prize. You can ask me that, Anirban, why don't you apply for the $1 million prize? I am eyeing for $1 billion, so not $1 million. That's the reason I'm not applying, because Microsoft came and told us they will give us $13 million, and that's a piece of shit.
Have you done for Gayatri Mantra?
Yeah. So I did it for Radha Swami because I was giving this presentation 2015-16 in Dayal Bagh. So the religious guru came up and then he said, how does it look like Radha Swami? So I immediately, I oscilloscope and then others, and then I fade it and I created the beautiful pattern of Radha Swami. You know, the most beautiful architecture, this 3D clock architecture, you will find for Mahamrityunjay mantra.
Yes.
It is only thing I would say it is the real. And then Om also, if you can pronunciate Om, it's a beautiful fractal architecture that expands. But Mahamrityunjay mantra is the most highest number of symmetries of this temple-like architecture is included in Mahamrityunjay mantra. The problem is I cannot go and tell this to people, but because I tried, I have honestly, I'm telling you, all of you guys, I have a huge enmity with the Hindutva guys. They hate me because of my views. They consider everything as God and something. I respect Vedas and all these things, but they complained against me for some of my posts to Facebook. Facebook blocked me for hate comments against Hinduism.
Oh.
So I have very bad past. So people, these people, they just go against me, and then they run very bad kind of campaign because I see it in the Vedic way. And then you know that in the 19th century, Ramakrishna's time, the Vedic people in Bengal were largely abused. The Brahma religion, those people, they consider Vedas as the truth. They were abused, discarded in the society. So same situation is also happening with me because I'm talking about only mathematics and all these things. These are actually there, not their real information. So they don't. Those are God believers. You know, God believers.
We have to be careful, Anirban. What we portray.
God believers will always hate, and I don't care about it.
I have full intention to launch a new religion.
I mean, I actually
I call it unreality.
I believe in the religion of primes. I think prime numbers, these prime numbers are the infinite sequence of numbers, is everything governing the universe, and that is all. I am very happy with it. I don't need God or anything else. Amit, coming to your point. So your data that you have from the market data, that you don't need to classify because it is impossible to classify or understand all those things. So you plot it like an image.
Okay.
Say coming to one variable, two variable, first variable, second variable, orthogonal to each other, or three variables. Any kind of variables, you take three of them. More than three, you cannot plot in a 3 dimension. because all maximum dimension that you can imagine in a computer or anywhere is 3 dimension. So 3 dimension plot, you will see some pattern is changing. You don't need to understand what is going on. In that data, you find out which are coming back to the initial point nearly or nearly forming loops. You take only that, reject everything, and continuously take only those, and take the loop time with time, what is the changing, and then convert it into a clock and put a sphere. Then pick or put a sphere, pick, put a sphere. And how those spheres will be relatively changing with each other, to make you need to make little perturbation to that system. So I will guide you how to make little changes in the perturbation, and you will be able to create a 3D map. Once you create a 3D map of in your computer that are clock, who are how they are related to each other, you will see that no more new data are coming up. All are falling into that. So when you find that all are following your existing clock architecture, that you have understood the system fully and totally. Now your job is to find the identity. This plane, on a plane, there will be some points. So this clock architecture, right? There will be some points where these clocks become undefined. You will find you are absolutely no clue, but your business is getting disrupted from somewhere. You have to find, those are called, we call singularity point. But the clocks disappear, periodicity disappear, vanishes, transforms, and something happens. Those points lie on a plane. We call it 5D. So those planes have a very particular dynamics of periodicity. You find the clocks. So soon after 1 year, after one year of this understanding, the optimizing the clock architecture, you will find those planes. Those planes will have a dynamics, and then you will find those planes are actually not able to tell you 100% predictability what is going to happen in the future. Then you will find those planes are oscillating with themselves, and then they are following a line that is 6 dimensions. That is not the end of it, but that will give you, that will be sufficient to destroy all the big companies or whatever first goal that you want to achieve. So basically your data to 3D clock. So in terms of variables, you need to plot. So we have to work together in the plot, and then those variables will build the 3D clock, optimize, and then after some time when you will see you are sitting idle because you see everything that is happening in the system is actually repeating somewhere, is falling somewhere. Sometimes new clock is born, new clock are going back. So your new clock is born, you store them. Clock are going out, so in live you should be able to see it. What is the hidden intelligence of that system? So when it is expanding, and you will be able to find out that it has a very particular typical invariance in the system, invariances or planes or something. The second year, third year, the straight line you find. After third year, as I said, in 2024, we will have we will meet here on 7th of March. So basically, if we start,
so let's start with
today,
so how do we, what is this practical next step?
Practical thing, first thing, as I told you, n number, you find out the variables you want to understand. Because eventually the problem of the beauty of this using this language is that it will tell you whether it is right or not. So there is no person has to evaluate and predict the future or something. You see that no new clocks are coming. That means the clock architecture that you have built is sufficient to explain the system that you have already done. So we have to plot the variables. For an example, this particular product in all over the world, you take the planet map, you put it in a square box, and you take horizontally the cells, and then you say this kind of ethnicity of the people, and then in vertical axis you can choose your parameters, because I have to understand the variables, the way the data is, but actually you have to put some data mining from your data to put in terms of variables. 3 variables, 3 at a time. You take 3 variables, then you take 3 more variables, then you take 3 more variables. In this way, you cover the entire spectrum of your data that is coming up. So basically 3D plot, simple 3D mathematical plot, so that you have a pattern. And then from that pattern, you find out the closed loop. A simple few line algorithm will be enough to find out the loop or periodically what is happening, and you convert it into a sphere. It's a normal software you have to build so that you see it in 3D. And then that is
sounds good. I think so. It's the data. We need to kind of yeah.
So basically, need a software programmer who can write the algorithm to mine the data that you are gathering from your server to a particular language format. So it will redirect, and then you will see live what is happening. So it can run continuously on your computer and what is happening. Sometimes new clocks are born. Immediately you understand something surprising things has happened. If some clock disappears, start panicking because you don't have control now.
Yeah.
So live you can observe.
Almost autonomous, right?
Yeah, you don't need to understand what is the data or what is anything. Periodicity comes, trust the Vedic monks. Not so basically every single I have told it to many people. Initially they didn't believe me, but after 3-4 months, 5 months, I asked them, you check your life and you will see, like Jayashree said, something happened to me, child, and I know that it comes back to your life. We are so much engaged in our daily day-to-day activities, we forget. So
all this is based on all this is based on ephemeris, the planet positioning and all. Ephemeris is called.
No. Periodicity is inside you also. Periodicity is everywhere. But the beauty is that in the modern science, periodic events are rejected. We find out the 3D topological architecture of the periodic events. Normal data mining process, AI, they took all the data and find out classification. They classify it based on human intelligence. But here we are not using human intelligence. We are taking the data as is and blindly converting into loop, trusting the Vedic monks. Anirban. Anirban's experiments. So basically, we take blindly the data, convert it into loops, and then make it. So basically, what you are doing, you are understanding the system without understanding it.
Yeah, so we are not training data. We are not doing any such
thing. No, nothing. You are not doing anything. You are just bringing it, the loop, and building the 3D architecture. And then your mind will tell you automatically. You can colorize. These are the variables, blue color ball. You see in my presentation, the videos I sent to you, blue color, red color, white color, those are not fancy colors. So they signifies particular kind of region where we got the variables. So basically, your mind will tell you, okay, this clock is going smaller. So that means very fast the event is happening. Something important is going to happen in that sector soon. So your mind will get it. You never analyze it. You never analyze data. You don't write a code. You do nothing. You see the size of the circles changing relative positions with the same color. And then you find that, oh my God, something is happening out there. So you immediately go back to that domain and try to fix things.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it from cybersecurity perspective, if a cyber attack is about to happen, then, the amount of data or, algorithms that are coming, or the electromagnetic spectrum, that intensity is increasing. So you do know something is about to happen. So you are just talking in that.
No, not intensity. If intensity is increasing, nothing may not happen. Intensity
it depends on variables. Here I'm talking about cyber attack.
Yeah. Cyber data or whatever.
Yeah,
Computing or whenever decision making, data type is unimportant. The fact of the matter is, whenever you see in your 3D clock architecture, new clocks are pouring in, fear about your security.
When new clocks are emerging,
new sphere has come up in your 3D hologram. New sphere has coming up. That means somebody is planting something.
So based on how will we know what kind of spheres those are, new clocks they are? Is it based on the color or how we define? Will we be defining that? How would we know?
So initially when we start, we define those colors, but when new things are coming up, then new clocks or new things are come up, then which position it has come up, which position, with whom
So
it is.
we will be able to target where it is emerging?
Yes. Yeah, of course. You have a target here, Pakistan, and then you find here you find this militants, and then small loop over there. So you know here and here with this particular condition it is related. So you find the phase relationship of every single event. So I can discuss the hardcore mechanical part of it, but I don't want to, because I want to.
No, I understand. I get your point.
Yeah. So basically you can get it. So I think that we have come to a very conclusive situation, I think, Amit.
Yeah, so, that sounds good.
So let's try to the first step would be plotting 3D structures live with the variables 1, 2, 3 variables you choose in your, and then you put the data.
So we are a relatively new company right now. How much data we need to start?
Data amount doesn't matter. As I said to you, in our computing, we don't need data. We need a small amount of data is fine. If you don't have a periodicity, then you don't find it. Problem is understood. Not the.
We're not using the past to. You're not using the past to predict the future. You're modeling the present.
No. We are not using the past. Yeah. We are following the mathematical symmetry prediction to predict the future. So basically, we are not training it. We are saying, and we are also not predicting the future. You will be predicting the future, looking at the structure by yourself.
So this particular aspect, Jayashree, is what that I was mentioning earlier, that the algorithm will not be self-aware and humans will have to decide what it means. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Meaning is never there in the symbols.
Yeah. So basically what it assists you to find out. So you don't need to see the past. The events are coming up. Those are interesting events, but for a human mind, finding them is very difficult because you don't see it in that language. But when it comes in this language, then it's very easy for you. It's a second job. You can say, okay, this sphere is coming from there. This color is from there. Okay, why there is a yellow ball coming up between red and blue? Oh, means in this particular sector, in this particular product, some problem has happened. Some new pattern is emerging. You are able to detect it. You go and dig into the data there, and you will be able to see it, what is happening out there. And not only that, this is the first step, but there are more steps. Basically, what you can do is you can take this particular temple-like architecture that you are seeing. Using that, you can allow it to evolve. So here you are not seeing the future, you are seeing the present. Then invariant, then another layer of invariant, you understand the data fully. But after that, you can apply this metric. There are chapter 3, if you go to our book, chapter 3, there are metrics, 10 different kind of metrics. You can apply them and you can predict the future dynamics based on the symmetries where it can go. But we are not building that right now. I think first 3 years should be doing just increasing the, why not? I mean, if you human, you can easily read it. So why we go for very complex things? Start with a very simple
product. Sure. I mean, augmented AI.
Which is very easy to do, and simply we do it.
Correct.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Okay, that sounds great, actually. Good way to start. And it's good if we build it and start experimenting and understanding it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
so if you just make a 3D plot, live 3D plot of 3 variables, and then another plot 3 variables. So multiple different variables, you just plot sale rate, randomly you go on and see the pattern.
So right now we use 3 variables. Then we want to add more variables. Would we be able to do that?
Another 3. And then suppose you have, you can take infinite number of variables. It does not matter. Only thing is that when you plot, say it is my breakfast, and then I dance, and then I wear clothes, and the next variable, breakfast, I start reading, and I have a meeting with Jayashree.
So we can have layers of different variables, right? And
many layers of variables you just take, and then you take the class. So it will automatically pour in, and then you build the structure. But first you look at the 3D variables and try to see, is there a loop? So you color it, the intensity you change, you give it to a different color.
That would be fun to see the loop, right? That would be interesting.
Yes, just 3D plot and see the loops. Once you see the
I'll get somebody to help with this, and we can start.
It's very easy. 3D plot, doing 3D plot is not, I mean, I have many. If you give me raw data, I can plot it here also. But the point is, I don't want to do it. You do it over there, so that it's very easy, because you know what are the variables, you know the market, you know the thing. I don't understand it. So it will be already nonsense and stupid and wastage of time. So you can find out variable and you can do 3D plots, but it should be live. Because I think that in today's market, if you don't have live intelligence,
exactly. Real time,
why our principle is superior than anybody else, because live giving you the dynamics, live dynamics for your data, it's impossible.
It is very true.
It's impossible. Without any analysis, without anything, and then you will be able to read it. Yes. So you understand that Anirban did good research with the brain when he measured those things.
So I'm excited. Let's definitely find a way to do something.
Yeah. So 3D plot, and then you share the plot in the group or somewhere, and or personally to me, those 3D plots, and then 3D plots should be live. So data feeds in, and then you see the changes and something. But otherwise, you don't understand that there is a hidden intelligence. So it should be spatio-temporal data, space-time. That means you take the variables, and with time, it will change in your market, because 24/7 your market is running in the internet, right? So 24/7 data. So you don't store anything. You just store, say after 1 hour, you store it as a video, a movie file, small. So you can scroll it and make it a 10 seconds video. So you see 1 hour in 10 seconds in 3D plot, what is happening. So you see some circles coming up, and then you call me, Anirban, I got it. You see the circle, your job is done.
Okay, I'm going to send this information to one of our guys and see what we can do.
Yeah. And making this algorithm is not difficult. I mean, the students come here, intern students can do it. I mean,
Amit, I am sure Amit has staff to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not move forward.
Did you try this with any exchange?
Huh?
Did you try this formula where we are talking with any exchange, like Tokyo Exchange or London Exchange and all? Because they have a lot of data.
Me? Oh, no. Amit will become trillionaire. He will give me $1 billion. Why should I try? I would help others to become multi-billionaire, and they will donate. So I have already this agreement with many people. And also, I don't take the building a research institute in India, so donate there. I'm not going to take any money with me when I will be burned. So,
but I explained Amit about your situation.
I need $1 billion.
Yeah.
When you become trillionaire, you give me $1 billion. So that is my agreement with James Tag also. I'm helping him to build that thing. So officially, to get this, they sign an agreement with NIMS. So one is small agreement of say roughly $20,000 or something like that. That you license the patent, the language, because you will be using that language. The language is patented. So because and they give say 6% of the revenue to that if the product they make. So they make that commitment and then they get it. So normal license fee is $2 million, but when you give say 5 to 6% or something like that, and I assist, so then it is $10,000, $20,000 or something like that. It's nominal. I mean, They just give away to promote this particular thing. So you sign an agreement. So you officially you get the license of the patent to develop it for the particular purpose that you are mentioned to. For an example, that those two patents, Fujitsu is licensing, say, for they are giving $500,000, but they are licensing it for the medical purpose. So medical purpose, they will build those clock architectures. So that's the reason. That's the reason I have a program, but I cannot give it to you because Fujitsu is making their own. Valius Corporation is making their own for their own purpose, chatbot. So you can't get it for chatbot, can't get it for medical purpose, but you can get it for, say, market analysis. So market analysis, nobody has purchased, nobody has licensed it. So once you license this, you are official authority to do this work, develop it, and then do it. So under any circumstances, NIMS or nobody can ever come and question you, why are you doing this? So that's basically the idea how it is done. So so if you are ready, just let me know, and then I will put you in touch, or your secretary or your company secretary or whoever doing it, put you in touch with the NIMS, and it will be signed. It's not a big deal. So once it is signed, that means you are officially then you get the
for market research purposes. Okay, good.
Yeah, for market research. But market research purpose, what in the market research, that has to be told clearly that you will be doing just that. So that's very easy thing to process. And then $10,000, $20,000 is nothing. I mean, it's a 6 lakh. It's a 6 lakh. So basically, it's free of charge. So processing charge. So then they give, but it is at the initial stages. Once they come to know, because they are interested now in organic jelly based computer, and then that jelly they are looking for $1 billion to sell, because Microsoft went up to 13 million, then they said 27 million or something like that. So that was kind of a very bad price. We didn't go ahead with it, but we are trying to.
You didn't sign with Microsoft?
Huh?
You didn't go with Microsoft?
No, we didn't reject, but we are finding some equivalent companies, say IBM, others, to raise the price, because for single switch they gave 700 million pound to a UK research laboratory.
Yes, and yes.
They quoted a 13 million, which was insulting to me, honestly speaking.
Of course.
I stopped them because I said that I will wait and then I will wipe it out. So if Amit can wipe out, wipe insulting me, 13 million, and then you go and give 700 million for single switch to computer. You imagine 24 hours it takes for them to compute 2 + 2 = 4. And I know we do it live with laser light.
Yeah, I know.
And then they give $700 million to them and $13 million to us. And they will say, let me see.
So this is the real reason why.
No. They know it very well.
Kidding. Yeah.
They want to be first in the apply. That's why I'm saying you go first and then you take it. You get a very low price. But once it becomes popular, and many people pour in. For an example, I have one Australian company who is also now interested in medical prediction, data prediction. Some pension fund, they want to fund research. And then they can go up to $400 or $500 million. But Fujitsu will be working under us. NIMS is not liking it. So anyway, these are the things that are going on for different purposes.
Cool. Very good. Thank you so much, Jayshree, for this. So very good, Anirban, to meet.
Very good analysis.
Looking forward to something.
Of course.
You should do this.
I have been thinking for a long time where to place Anirban, because his research is so extraordinary. We can build on that and do so much, especially when we all Indian origin people are, getting together to do something meaningful.
Yes.
That makes me happy. I mean, I can introduce Anirban to 100 other people. That's not an issue. But we, as Indian, we need to do something to together.
I think it is time for the it's a rising star. I think India. It's a time for India.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We should take over. We have this technology. We should take over. I mean,
we should absolutely.
I mean
and
they don't. They got 300 years and they ruined the world.
Yeah,
Entire America destroyed, entire Australia destroyed. I went to Australia and I met the Aborigines and how ruthlessly they killed in America, and then how ruthlessly they killed in Latin America. I have set up a research institute in Simla, and then Stuart Hameroff and then they came to meet me in Simla, and then I kept them in Mahindra. Mahindra has a 5-star hotel, all the exotic places all over India. So it is called Mahindra Heritage Building or somewhere. I went there. That was actually the house of Lord Curzon. Simla was the summer capital of India.
Right.
And all the viceroys used to live over there in all the Himalayan belts and then in Simla. Because cold, they cannot live in the hot region. So they used to live in Shimla. And then it is written there in a plaque that first time human genocide in the name of social Darwinism. You all know social Darwinism, so I'm not explaining. In the name of social Darwinism, first ethnic cleansing was made in India. It is not Stalin who did it. It is not Hitler who did it. It was done in India by Lord Curzon. In South India, 9 million people were killed. It is written in a big plaque that the person used to live here, and it was implemented in 1870, 1880. First time in the world. 1860, the proposal was made, and then Stuart Hameroff's wife, Betsy Bigby, was there. And then Stuart said, "Oh my God, we never knew this history. Indian, we are taught a nonsense history. I also didn't know, but I knew as a Bengali that Bengal in 1942, it was implemented in Bengal and 20 million people were killed. 20 million people died. So I have my family history, how my family survived, my father's elder brothers, how they used to get boiled rice, water, and then skeleton after skeleton. Search in Google, you will find skeleton after skeleton in the road. 20 million people were systematically killed. So only in the history of India, you will find mention of Bengal, but never South India. South India, 2 times it was done, one 9 million, one 7 million. It was done by Lord Curzon, then Lord Williams. So anyway, so they did it. They did it in 300 years. India was not #1 country in the world. So we know that if we rule the world, then we will not go and kill the innocent people anywhere. We will not do it. We never did it in thousands of years. We never did it. They did it. They are doing it, and they will do it. You saw in 1992 to 1994 the way the Mud City was destroyed in Iraq, and then every world was seeing live in the television set in 2003, 2004 when they were destroying the museums and looting them and bringing them back to New York Museum and then British Museum. We saw it. French soldiers were there, German soldiers were there, American soldiers were there, British soldiers were there. All of them took, but American and the British soldiers took the most. They never apologized. United Nations said nothing, and then it happened. So only way to remove the curse on humanity is that India rules. And that's I'm committed to. I'm very, very committed to. And I know that there's, like Amit said, a point becomes a universe. Bindu te Sindhu. That is what said in our ancient scriptures. Convert 1 point, or universe will fall that rule. If it is true.
And tribalism is increasing right now. So I think it is time that if we are able to make a difference, and if we are able to create this, then we will be able to bring positive change in the world. We will not, because we
first you have to rule. First you have to rule. Who is ruling, I don't care. But the point is he should be a Vedic philosophy believer who believes that all human life has an importance. Exactly. All lives are important. But they say it, they don't follow it. They say they don't follow it. When I was in Europe, you know,
Yes.
there was a movie on me, Hollywood movie. They came to our lab 2013, 2014 and made it. They never released it. The
Yes.
Frank Thai is one of the finest. And then he told me, he has sent me email, Anirban, I feel ashamed as a European when I was told that why are you promoting an Indian living in Japan while all the great European scientists are there. If he collaborates with any Europeans, then promote him.
But oh my gosh,
So my promotion was systematically destroyed time after time, and then they went on doing that. But they forget only one thing that is there, that because we, the Hindus, have been there for thousands of years, thousands of years, and we survived because we loved everybody. I never hate him or do anything. I find that truth because ultimately, as Mahatma Gandhi said, at the end of the day, it's truth that survives.
yes.
It's
Yes,
truth.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
find the truth better and better and better and better. Go on working silently. One day it will be over for them.
That's the key. Work silently. You know, all our efforts, our goals, our vision has to be very, stay within our small circle. We don't want to tell the world what we are trying to do.
No
And
press conference, no press
Yeah,
release by
nothing.
Amit, anything. You just finish them off, finish Facebook, Google, and you become one. And then also there is no need to tell how did you.
Exactly. That's the thing, that this information should be within very few people. It should remain with the few people. And all these recorded video also, Amit, you have to be very careful and not let it out so nobody knows what we are trying to do. That will be the best approach to go forward.
Yeah.
So I'll be waiting for 3D variable data from Amit, and
I will connect first next steps. Yeah. Let's take it from there.
So please find a person who will be doing it, because I know that you are running.
I will find a person.
Find a programmer who writes the algorithm, who does it, and I have no problem.
I have a very, very young cousin who is, he's an AI, researcher, and he's the right kid. He's very, very smart. He's like a little bit genius level. So I'm very excited to put him on this.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'll connect him to you actually, if you don't mind, when we talk next.
No. Just connect with me. I will assist him on how to
Yeah, that would be great.
Also, we will complete the official procedures, because the point is that when
so right now what he's working on for us, GPT-3, right? So so GPT-3 we don't have access. So he's creating just a text version of GPT for us, because we're able to have a conversational response. So our marketing AI should be automatic. I should be able to use bots to talk to social media people and drive marketing on its own. No humans will be involved there. So he's creating the GPT-3 for just the marketing conversational AI. We don't have access to GPT-3, so he's using other things. But he's very bright, and so that's why I know he will be the right guy for this.
And also, at one time, always remember that if you want to be number one in the world, you have to follow the rules and regulations properly, because when you grow up, there is no need to think that you will be lost out after 3 years. It could be a possibility that you become number one and removing everybody. So keeping that in mind, we follow the rules and regulations properly. So basically, we will try to sign an agreement with you here, so that you officially own the right to develop it.
Yeah, definitely, sure.
That needs
like
to
you
be.
said,
We have to do that.
We'll find the right, all that stuff, definitely.
Market research, yeah.
Okay, this is great. Looking.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll definitely connect again.
All right,
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it, Jayashree. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Very nice. Very nice. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.